and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do an unboxing of two different brands that I have had nothing to do with my entire existence on YouTube. The first one is Colourpop. I have definitely already opened this stuff just to make sure it wasn't broken, but we are going to go through and actually go over how it was packaged, how long it took for it to get to me, and my general overall experience. I haven't swatched any of it. Actually, that's a lie. I totally swatched the Super Shocks. Okay, so we're going to start with Colourpop. So this was actually packaged very well. It came in this box and is actually double bubble wrapped. So box. Bye. But this is how much bubble wrap it came in. So it actually has to be unrolled. Ah! Massacre! That was my own fault. Colourpop, that's not on you, that's not me. Anyway, it actually comes with quite a lot of bubble wrap. So, that's a good thing. They also send you a lovely little card of how we're the bestest friends ever. It literally says we are best buds. And at first I thought that was a stethoscope, but now that I look at it again, it's earbuds. I get it now. I think these used to be handwritten, and now they are definitely mass produced. The first palette I picked up is the Give It To Me Straight palette. Something I noticed about these right off the bat was that these shade names are not actually on the inside of the palette. They are on the back. They are also on the box, which I guess is better than not having them at all. But if it was up to me, oh, I'm a big fat liar if this one does have it on the actual shades. Must not have been this one I was looking at. Anyway, for this palette, you definitely know what the shade colors are called. 100%. I don't know what made me pick the palettes that I did, but when I actually got them and then opened them and looked at them, I was like, maybe you have a style. The next palette I got was the Dream Street palette. This is Kathleen Light's collab with Colourpop, her most recent one. Yes, this one doesn't have the shade names on the actual palette. It is on the back. So I wasn't a total liar. I really love the packaging on this rose gold marble. You know, all of us bloggers are suckers for marble and rose gold everything. I have worn the Dream Street palette one time, but that is it. I haven't used anything else in the palette brigade that you are about to witness. And then the third palette I got from Colourpop is the My Little Pony palette. And this is not quite what I expected. I expected brighter shades for some reason. However, when I look at this and I look at these, this purple, this pink, and this color, and I don't even know why this color, it actually does make me think of like My Little Pony from the 90s when I was a small child. Overall, I am happy with the purchases so far. I get in these moods where I just like go online and I'm like, add to cart, 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 and then I just check out and then I forget what I've ordered. It's not the best habit. I also picked up the entire line of Super Shock shadows. What I noticed about these when I first pulled them out is that the wand didn't actually pick up very much product, which was kind of surprising. You would think it would have more on it. You would think it would be really, really, I don't want to say gloopy, but you would think it would pick up a lot of product. This is the shade Prelude, Lucky Penny. You would think that Lucky Penny would be like bronze or something, not silver, since I don't think anybody thinks silver when they think of a penny. Over again, From the Valley. I'm actually super pumped to try this From the Valley with the My Little Pony palette. That really gives me that feel. So far, I'm really digging these. I wanted to be able to do this video with at least some information about the products. So I did swatch all of these on my hand the night I got them, and then I actually slept with the swatches on my hand and woke up and they were still there. The last swatch we have is Now or Never. Aren't these beautiful? I just love them. So my overall shipping experience with these was good. It took about 3 days to ship, but then about 4 days for it to get to me, so it wasn't really so bad. My next brand I'm going to discuss is actually Juvia's Place, and I don't have as many nice things to say about their their shipping policies, I guess, and my shipping experience with them. All right, so my next box is Juvia's Place. So this one actually came as a box in a box. So a few things about this. This shipped the day after I purchased it, which was amazing. That made me super excited. And then I realized that the tracking wasn't updating. I believe I ordered it somewhere in the beginning of February, and then on February 9th it said it got to Canada. So on February 9th it gets to Canada, the tracking no longer updates, and at the top of DHL it says, if your package has not been delivered, please contact the merchant. So I left it for a few days, knowing that sometimes it does take a few days for it to update once it gets into Canada because of customs. And then 10 days had gone by, and I was like, okay, we're past the point of acceptable for me. I've never had something sit in customs for 10 days before. So sorry about that, guys. I ran out of space on my memory card, but we are good now. So hopefully cut off at a place that made sense. If it didn't, oops, too late now. Anyway, so basically what happened is DHL sent me to the merchant responded, and the merchant I am discussing is obviously Juvia's Place, and their response was, I'm very sorry, once it leaves our warehouse, we are no longer able to track, which I thought was a little bit odd. The customer service response time was quick, but wasn't really a response I was looking for, considering the shipment carrier is telling you to go to the merchant for information, and then the merchant doesn't have any information. Okay, fine. So I wait another couple days, still no updates, and then I'm thinking, what the hell? So I go and I start looking at the DHL website, and I see a USPS tracking number. So I go to USPS and I put that in tracking, and it essentially says the same thing, where it is got to the Canadian border and then disappeared into no man's land. So out of frustration, I did reach out to Juvia's Place again and say, look, I don't understand what's happening. You have sent me to DHL. DHL is sending me to you. So do you have any other suggestions? And she basically said, well, the only thing I can tell you is maybe try your local post office, because it's probably just sitting there and they haven't told you. Which seems odd to me, considering the shipping has not been updated. It still says it's at the border. So I call my local post office, and she basically asks for the USPS tracking number, which is a third tracking number that is on the original DHL package. And she was able to tell me that it was in Montreal, which is about, I don't know, 4 to 8 hours away from me. Not close, but not super far. So after that, it was here in like 2 or 3 days. So I'm a little disappointed that Juvia's Place didn't really take any ownership of the fact that it took almost a month to get to me. I'm not sure where they're coming from. So this actually came from New Jersey. So to me, New Jersey to Toronto is a little bit annoying, because really that's not far. I could have drove it in about 8 hours, so that's a little ridiculous in my opinion. Anyway, onto the actual product. One final thought about the shipping. I ended up paying $40 in customs as well, which I hardly ever have to pay customs or any additional shipping or handling. So we got this big box here, which is the box in a box. And what I did was I picked up the 6 pallet bundle from Juvia's Place during their 40% off sale. They had a random sale going into my email, and you know what? I was like, it's time, guys. It's time I try out Juvia's Place. So I did. So it retails regularly for $148 for the 6 of them, and I got 40% off that, so I'm not really sad about the price. But then I ended up getting screwed with customs anyway, so meh. So there is no bubble wrap in the actual packaging of the boxes. However, each individual pallet has its own bubble wrap. So the first pallet I got is the Zulu, and that looks like this. I know that people had made comments already about the shadow size of these, but I was really not expecting how big they actually are. And I just went ahead and grabbed the MAC palette I had readily available to compare sizes. Because to me, this MAC palette is a standard eyeshadow size. And these are, it doesn't say, but I'll put it up on the screen so you can see it. And then these guys are freaking massive. These are net weight for 9 shadows in this one. The net weight is 32.4 grams. This has 18 shadows in it and the net weight is 19 grams. So the shadow size is monstrous. Monstrous. The next palette that came was the Masquerade Mini. That one looks like this, and these shadow sizes are a little bit more to the standard of a regular MAC shadow. So again, the comparison is 19.5 grams for 18 shadows, and this one has 24 grams and is 16 shadows. This is a true unboxing. I have not put that much effort into looking at any of this yet because I wanted to give somewhat of a true reaction. This is the classic Nubian. This one we are looking at, it doesn't actually say. Oh no. It actually gives little descriptors on the back. So the Nubian palette by Juvia was inspired by an African empire in Old Egypt headed by the beauty icon Nefertiti. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Famously endowed with strength and spirituality, this palette consists of 12 shades beautifully coordinated to be reflective on golds, coppers, browns, and nudes as seen in Egyptian empire. I used to really love ancient Egypt history, so I feel like I'm gonna like this a lot. Whoops. Again, more in the standard sizing. This one doesn't actually have the shade weight on it. This also reminds me a little bit of the Colourpop Semi-Precious. Semi-Precious is a little bit more red, but the tones are pretty similar in my opinion. Then we have the Saharan. This one is same deal, doesn't actually tell you how much it's in it. Inspired by the vibrancy and vivaciousness of the Wadabi festivities and the Fulani culture of West Africa. I feel like I should stop reading these so I don't offend anybody because I don't know how to pronounce any of these names. Filled with elaborate and flamboyant makeup, the Saharan eye shadow palette is endowed with pops of colors, earthy hues, and golds that emulate a true Saharan. And it was upside down that whole time, sorry about that. I really like most of these shades. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with all of the purchases so far, even though I had to wait a little bit longer for the Juvia's Place stuff to come in, and I had to pay the customs on it. This was a really good way for me to try a lot of different palettes that they had all at one time without really having to pick and choose. They just basically make the decision for you. This is the Nubian 2. The Nubian 2 palette by Juvia was inspired by an African empire in Old Egypt, headed by the beauty icon Nefertiti. She was famously endowed with strength and spirituality. The differentiator on this one is this palette consists of 12 versatile array of metallic shades and pops of color. This one has a lot more color in it from what I understand. So this is Nubian 2, and this is the Nubian. So the shade sizes are also quite a bit different, obviously. Talk about how much these things drive me crazy. They just end up everywhere in my office, like everywhere. And the last one in this box of goodies is this giant The Magic palette. This is the biggest one by a long shot. This one's 57 grams of eyeshadow. So this one is, the Magic palette was inspired by the moon and the sun, goddesses of the wilds. A beautiful fusion of cool and warm tones, vibrantly infused with 16 ultra pressed pigments, perfect for day to nighttime looks. Let's see. Yeah, this one may be a new go-to. I feel like people lose the art of being able to actually put in warm and cool tones in the same palette. I feel like we've gotten to this place in the beauty industry where it's either this is a super warm palette or this is a super cool palette. We can't possibly mix those things together because we couldn't possibly have two different color temperatures together at the same time. That would be ridiculous. Why would we ever do something like that? Anyway, guys, obviously we're going to have lots and lots of palette reviews coming your way. If there is a palette that you would prefer to see first or a look that you would like to see first, please let me know down in the comments. I would be happy to do that. I also have had some requests to do some tutorials on brightly colored makeup because I wear a lot of it. And there's actually a blog post I'm thinking about writing, and you can let me know if you would be interested or not, or your opinion on this situation in general. One of my biggest pet peeves in makeup is people telling me things like, oh, I could never do that because I could never pull it off. Listen, anyone can pull off anything. So I want to write a post about that. I don't want to come off as, come on girl, anybody can do anything, because I know that some of it is comfort and some of it is just something you may not like, and that's fine if you don't like it, but I don't like when people think they can and should not wear something because the society in general tells them they should not. I do not believe in that, and I do not believe that people cannot pull off things. I think that if they want to wear something, they should, and everybody else should basically shut the F up about it. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what palettes you would like to see first and what kind of looks you would like to see. Have a great day and thanks so much for watching.